everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Noob Readers. My name is Kiran and in this video we are going to be talking about the Long Ring Long Land arc, which is basically the first arc in the Water 7 saga. Now this arc is in volume 32 to 34 where we have chapters 303 to 321 for this particular arc. Now, I do have to say that I'm not a big fan of this particular arc. Like, I think that it is my least favorite arc so far because, like, literally for every single arc, right, so far, we have met new characters and we have also seen, like, so much, like, character development for the crew. But I think in this particular arc, we are not getting, like, any new information. Like, even though we meet, like, one, like, very important character, even if it was not there, I think it would have been fine. Like, yeah, I mean, it just feels a bit like filler to me. Okay, so now I know that I kind of like, over edit my videos and kind of like literally try to just be very concise in my reviews and kind of like, spend so many hours editing. But I feel that I have to kind of, take a step back because I just get so stressed because of the editing. So yeah, so I think with this particular like new year, because this is the first video that I'm shooting for this particular year, 2024. And yeah, happy new year, by the way. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna, talk more freely in my videos. Like, I'll not try to kind of like be very like concise and, try to go into like each and everything that happens in the arc. I think I'll make it more conversational. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say, that I'll not pressurize myself to kind of like stick to it being like a certain length and to just try to kind of cram everything in like a video. So if it's going to be longer, then I'm going to make it longer. So yeah, this is just, I wanted to like tell you all this thing because I kind of like stress a lot when it comes to the editing and all. So yeah, and I do have to say that I'm really close to the first 1,000 subscribers. So if you are like a returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching my videos. I love you a lot. But if you're new and you're meeting me for the first time, then hi, my name is Kiran. And yeah, I mean, this is my journey to read One Piece. And I know that I'm a really bad, reader when it comes to the manga because it's been so long that I'm reading this. But yeah, I am trying and I'm trying to catch up at my own speed because of my work. Like, I don't get a lot of time to read. But yeah, this year, I hope that I'll be able to catch up. And yeah, so this is me on my journey reading One Piece and of course watching the anime as well. So now let's get into the review. Okay, so basically this particular arc starts off with volume 32 and then at the starting we get this information that Bellamy was basically a part of Doflamingo's crew. Like, yeah, I mean, that was a crazy revelation. Like, I did not see that coming at all. And the fact that because Bellamy got defeated, now Doflamingo is like, you know what, we don't want you. Yeah, this is basically what he says. The time has come when only real pirates will survive. Yeah, he's basically saying that those without power had better run while they can. Like an unstoppable wave, a new age of unmatched power is coming. So I have no idea what this new age is, which he is like talking about. But yeah, that was interesting, the fact that he just he basically says that, yeah, I mean, I don't want you, Bellamy, and then he says this thing. Now of course Bellamy says that, yeah, give me just like one more chance, but yeah, that just doesn't work. So yeah, I think that Bellamy is gonna be like a recurring person, I believe. Like, I mean, at least I think that we're gonna meet him again because he definitely just has a grudge now. So yeah, it would be interesting to see where that goes. Before actually going to this particular island, our crew comes across this particular ship which is like extremely unorganized. There is no navigator, there is no captain, and all the crew members kind of feel like they're very sad and they're just not in a position to make any decisions. When our crew also like looks at them, they're like, okay, what happened with this ship? And they're not able to understand like what happened, but they don't take it very seriously. And that was like a very weird thing, because I thought that if you come across any such thing, you would take it seriously, right? Only Usopp is the one who is kind of like really scared, and he's like, no, we have to know what happened with this crew, right? We have to know this. But yeah, all the other people are just like, yeah, I mean, maybe their captain died or whatever. Yeah, nobody is like taking it seriously. So of course then our crew finds this new island that we go to, the island that is like green and there's literally no one inside, like nobody is there. It's like it's just empty. So when of course Luffy looks at it and he's like, yeah, he has to go and explore, right? I mean, that's what Luffy does. Very like bizarre things happen on this particular island because everything is just long. So I have no idea why Oda does this, but yeah, I mean, it's like, it's so weird, like this whole thing where it's not explained why all of these like trees and all these animals or the birds that we see over there on this island, why they are just like this, why they are so long. It's not explained. It's just like, yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, that was interesting. And then of course we meet this character called Tonjit, who is a nomad. Yeah, so basically this character Tonjit was just standing on these like stilts and he's like scared of heights, and for some reason he's saying that he was there on those stilts for like 10 years. I find it so bizarre that Oda just doesn't think that 10 years is like a long time. Like it's so weird that like he can't just say like, for like 2 months or 3 months or like 6 months. No, it's just 10 years. Yeah, he was just there for like 10 years and yeah, I mean, he survived on food. So what about water? like Oda, can you explain? Can people literally like live without water? I have no idea. But that is not explained because I guess it is what it is. So he tells us about this particular island and how there are like these like 10 islands and that are in a shape of a ring and they're kind of connected, but when it's like the sea level is like high, I guess, then all of these islands are like separate. So yeah, so these people just move from one place to the other, so basically from one island to the other island after every like 3 years. And then it's like explained that Tonjit is the only person who's left here because he was on his like stilts and then everyone left. And then of course we also come to know that yeah, there is this one horse and the name of the horse is Sherry. So of course then this is the time when Tonjit goes and then meets Sherry and they have this like cute really, really sweet moment because of course Sherry waited for him for like 10 years. Through Chopper, we are able to hear like Sherry's thoughts as well. So yeah, both of them are really happy. And then of course Tonjit rides Sherry and then they basically decide that yeah, now they are gonna go and meet these people. Right then, of course, something bad happens, and that is Sherry gets shot. So basically the captain of the Foxy Pirates is the one who has shot Sherry. So of course, Luffy being Luffy, he decides to just kick his butt. And this is the point that we understand what this particular pirate crew is saying, that yeah, they don't want a normal fight, okay, they want a Davy Back fight. So yeah, so it's not just like a normal fight that you have, it's basically a pirate game. And I think the idea of it is like very interesting, the fact that if you lose here, then there are like major consequences for it, because if you lose, then you are gonna lose your own teammates. Yeah, you have to basically give the other person your crew member. So of course Luffy had no idea that this is how it is being played, but of course Luffy being Luffy, he basically says that yeah, sure, why not. And yes, he just accepts the challenge. The way that our crew members react to the situation says a lot about who they are as a person. Like Nami is basically like, yeah, why would Luffy like accept this challenge? This challenge makes no sense. And she is basically 100% sure that no, Luffy should say no. And then when it comes to Sanji and Zoro, they have completely different opinions. So Zoro basically thinks that no, I mean, if I'm challenged, I have to like fight. And same way Sanji is also saying the thing that yeah, I mean, if you have to fight, we have to fight. Like yeah, there is just no way out of it. After this particular arc, I can say that the way a woman is seen in this world and the way a man is seen is like very different. Like Nami got like a lot of hate in this particular arc for just basically using her mind. Oda has basically tried to say that yeah, I mean, if you're not a man, you won't get it. I mean, I could be wrong, but this is the kind of feeling that I got while reading it. It was very interesting to me that all of these people in every single challenge, which of course we're going to talk about, but in every single challenge, they were basically cheating, okay? And for some reason, that is acceptable. But Nami basically comes up with an idea which is very interesting. And with that, it would have been so much easier for the crew to just, win. But that was, unacceptable for the crew because it goes against what it means to be a pirate. So I think there is a lot of conversation around what is right and what is wrong, what is acceptable in this like pirate world. Is it like women are not considered as good pirates? I mean, or they're like not accepted the same way. And yeah, I would love to know your thoughts on this in the comments. So this is the point where we are told that, yeah, there are going to be like 3 rounds and our crew is divided for like every single round. So for round 1, we're gonna have a donut race where the participants are gonna be Usopp, Nami, and of course Robin. And then in round 2, which is basically the groggy ring fight, we are gonna have Zoro, Sanji, and Chopper. And for round 3, it's gonna be a combat where Luffy is gonna participate. So now let's start with the first round, which is basically the donut race. I think in this particular round, Nami got so much time to shine, and I think we saw her in her element, I believe, because she basically was cunning. She used her mind and she used also her knowledge when it comes to all these like water currents and all. They don't win it obviously because of cheating but yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, I think it was nice to see that Nami is not the kind of person that you can just fool by using all these like, fake symbols and of course the fake finishing line also. So yeah, she knows that this is all fake and she will not like fall for it because she's a lot smarter. I mean, I felt so bad for Usopp also because Usopp had to use the reject dial and how much that thing hurt. He knew that yeah, it's like needed, so he did that. And of course Robin was also there. Now Robin has like very like interesting powers, and I think because she can like attack the person from a distance, so which makes her like even more difficult to defeat as an enemy. So I think yeah, I mean her powers are like really cool. Foxy the Silver Fox, who's basically the captain of the Foxy Pirates, he used his own like devil fruit powers, that is the slow beam. Okay, so I think that it's a very like interesting power, and I do feel that what our team lacked was like the teamwork, because the Foxy Pirates, they all like tried to like distract our crew. Like they distracted Zoro with of course alcohol, Sanji with girls, Luffy with food, and of course Chopper as well. So you see, right? I mean, they basically were working as a team, but our team just had no clue. Usopp, Nami, and Robin, they could not win because of the slow beam, and they just got like stuck. So basically when this beam hits you, the velocity becomes 0, so you're basically if you're like falling, you'll fall in like slow motion. And so basically they just couldn't move. Like they were about to win, but they just stopped there, and then of course the other team, that is the Foxy Pirates team, wins. Losing basically means you have to lose your team member. So basically Foxy Pirates, they decide to take Chopper, and oh my god, that look on Chopper's face, the way Chopper is just crying, oh my god. Something very interesting happens, and that is what Zoro has to say. And I think this is the reason why I just love Zoro so much. If you have been following my channel, you would know how much I love Zoro. He's my favorite character, and I think with every single arc, I get so much more information about Zoro, and I understand the way that he thinks, okay? So in this particular arc also, like, Chopper is crying because he doesn't want to go, okay? And he says that, Luffy, you can't do that to me, right? I mean, I started sailing because of you, because I wanted to be with you. And now I can't just go and, be a part of this other crew. And then Zoro says this thing to Chopper, that the choice to become a sailor was your own. Where you end up is your own fault and no one else's. Zoro is kind of like a father for Chopper, and he's basically making him understand that if you're gonna cry, right, you're not gonna get respect as a pirate. And he is telling him that if you're a man, that you have to see it through the end. He basically is telling Chopper that believe in the captain, okay? Believe in Luffy and believe in Luffy's decision and see it to the end, that yeah, no, but nothing's gonna happen to you, okay? We are gonna get you back. And then, of course, it's the start of the next round, which is basically the groggy ring round. And so Chopper was supposed to be in this particular round, but of course, he was taken. So now it's just Sanji and Zoro. Now, this is the point, right? Sanji and Zoro do not like each other. Like, they do not like each other. Right, I mean, in this particular whole fight, they were just, first they were fighting like who's gonna be the ball man, and it was funny, but I do think that they have no idea about like what it means to work as a team, and it was visible. So yeah, so they basically were like about to actually get defeated in this particular like event also. So this is the point where Zoro says these things, that is, hey cook, lend me a hand for 10 seconds, that should be enough time. Zoro thinks that it is like his responsibility, that he explained all that to Chopper, but he knows that they have to just get their shit together and work together. Like Sanji is also like an interesting character, but I don't think that he wants to accept that he wants help from Zoro. Then of course, when they start working as a team, they of course are able to like win. And of course, in this entire fight, the Foxy Pirates were just cheating, like, weapons were not allowed, but they were literally blatantly cheating. And the referee was just facing the other way, or he's just pretending that this is like not happening. So this is the point where our crew has to kind of, select one crew member from the Foxy Pirates. And of course, Luffy wants to take Chopper back. Nami is like, why don't you just ask for like the captain of the Foxy Pirates to just join us? If the captain comes to our team, then there would be no third round, right? And then we are gonna win, and then we can get Chopper back anyway. So yeah, I mean, if you really think about this particular solution, it's so interesting, so smart, and I'm kind of proud of Nami for it, because it makes so much sense. So these pirates think that no, this is like a worst strategy, because if you win this way, then it's not considered a clear win. So so this whole like discussion, right, what is right and what is wrong when it comes to pirates, and what is like honorable, and what makes you like a good pirate or a bad pirate. So yeah, all this conversation, right, it's very interesting to me. Then they come to know, of course, Robin is the one who points this out, that if you actually take the captain, then he becomes a part of our crew. And then everyone is like, no, we don't want him, Chopper comes back to the crew, and he gets really happy, and he's like, okay, finally I'm back to where I belong. And that was sweet. That was a sweet moment. Of course, now this is the time for the third and of course the final battle between Luffy and Foxy. It's a boxing match. Luffy goes, and then he comes back with this like afro hairstyle. Now, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, wouldn't it be a bit like offensive to the community? Like, I have no idea. Okay, I'm a bit confused as to like, is it like considered okay? Is it acceptable to do that? Usopp basically is saying that your punches would have like more power because you have this particular afro hairstyle. So it was weird. Okay, when I was reading it, I could not decide if it's like offensive or not. Is it like acceptable to say that? Like, I have no clue, okay? I don't know how people would feel about it. Like, I'm a bit like conflicted. I am somewhere in between. I'm like, it could also be offensive to people, but then I'm also like, but it's kind of trying to tell us that, if you have this hairstyle, then you're more powerful. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay, I really want this conversation in the comments. Okay, just let me know. Like, how did that, scene made you feel? It was definitely a bit weird for me, definitely. So Luffy basically just, shattered the mirror because the slow meme was getting like reflected from that. So that's why when he just broke that, so then he was basically able to like hit Foxy for the entire time. Like, he was not able to do that, and Foxy was basically like dominating the fight. So I think the fact that Luffy actually thought of that was very interesting. And Luffy was basically on the losing side, but of course, right at the end, one of the mirror pieces got stuck in the afro, and then the slow beam got reflected, and then it just impacted Foxy, and then Foxy got still, and of course Luffy just uses his punches, and of course, wins that particular fight. So Luffy is like, you know what, I don't want anyone from your particular crew, so just give me your Jolly Roger. And Luffy comes with that Jolly Roger and he gives it to Tonjit. That's just Luffy being Luffy helping out the people that he doesn't even know. So how sweet. Okay, so yeah, so when Luffy comes back, then we see this new person whose name is Admiral Aokiji. Now, Admiral Aokiji is from the Navy headquarters, and it has been explained that there are like these 3 people, and the only one that is above them is Fleet Admiral Sengoku, who's basically the commander of the Navy. So Aokiji is basically at like the top levels. The way that he looks at Robin, and so we know that he has some connection to Robin. Basically, Aokiji is like, you know what, I just came here just to see, and I'm not gonna fight with you. He basically tries to help Tonjit. He literally just made the whole thing, the whole sea as ice. So this is the kind of powers that he has. He has Logia fruit powers. And it's just crazy, man. This whole panel was just crazy. And when I saw it in the anime as well, it's just so crazy. Like, he just puts his hand in the water and then, the entire thing is just ice. So cool. And then, yeah, of course, Tonjit was like able to go, and he will probably be able to meet all the other like villagers. Aokiji just finally decides, you know what? I think that you guys are like too dangerous, and now I'm just gonna kill you. Yeah, so that was also a bit weird, like the way that he changes his mind. So in one single go, he was able to just freeze Robin, Sanji, and Zoro. So yeah, Luffy says that yeah, you just take Robin and go to the ship. Sanji and Zoro also, they also have like gotten their limbs frozen. So Luffy is like, you know what, nobody's gonna fight, you also go. And Luffy says that it's gonna be a one-on-one fight. And then of course Aokiji says this thing about Luffy's grandfather. Now because I've seen the live action, I know that Luffy's grandfather is also in Navy. So yeah, it would be interesting to see more of him. I was kind of expecting some sort of like flashback or something, but we didn't get it. So yeah, let's see when we get more into that. So yeah, so then of course Luffy versus Aokiji happens, and Aokiji is basically able to like literally defeat Luffy very easily, and now Luffy is just also like frozen, and this was the opportunity where he could just easily kill Luffy, like easily, but he just decides not to, which basically the reason that he gives is like, yeah, you helped us out with like Crocodile by doing that to Crocodile, by defeating him. So yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna just leave you, and he just left. Our crew members come back, and then they take Luffy back to the particular ship, and then of course Chopper was able to kind of like treat all of them, and everyone is just okay. Robin is okay, Luffy is okay, and yeah, Sanji and Zoro, they're also like okay. When Aokiji is like going back right to the headquarters, I guess, and he says this thing that okay, according to their log post, our crew is basically going to Water 7, and he says that okay, so they are going like very close to the world government. So yeah, so this is the point where this particular arc basically ends. Things are gonna get very difficult now. Like Aokiji is someone who's like so powerful, and he came after our crew, and even Usopp says this thing that all of these like really powerful people are gonna come after us now. So yeah, but I still like want to get more into the story, the mystery, and to get more information. So yeah, so which I don't think we got in this particular arc, and I wanted more of that. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this particular review. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, take care.